of working on matching up out of the zone.
Jimmy Burr calls the foul on Singletary. He's a little surprised, but he was not set as he stepped over in front of the Iowa State player.
Well, Jim Burr has made this call probably about 50,000 times in his career, and almost always right. You see, you have to have 2 feet planted in order to be legal guarding position. Singletary a hair late.
So he is going to go over and take a seat. Both teams with 5 early fouls. We're not even under 13 minutes to play until halftime. Bouncer inside to Homan. Not there. Forbes back out to Reynolds. Boy.
They have not shot well early. They've gotten good looks.
They really have. We have seen air balls and a couple of bricks from both teams. T.J. Bannister, I believe, is going to be called on that foul. 16 fouls against Virginia. First one on Bannister. Bannister, it's got to be a tough situation. I talked about how well he played last year. And then the young freshman Singletary comes in. Boy, as a coach, you got to make sure you massage both, don't you? You do. Blalock.
Well, and that's a much better look for Blalock. He came in shooting 55% from 3.
Three-pointer on the way. It's not there. The rebound, and they'll try to run. But a good job by Virginia in transition. They were just all over it. A little out of control. So Davis picks up the foul. His first. Anthony, a junior out of Compton, California, missed the first 3 games because of a shoulder injury. Tough defender. You don't look necessarily for a lot of points from him off the bench.
Well, Ron, you get back to Bannister. It's a long season, and he's got to stay patient. He's got an opportunity right now. Young man that had 12 assists last year in February in a big win over Wake Forest.
4 turnovers against the Cavaliers. Blalock will go to the bench. He'll get a breather. Excuse me.
I was counting this up, Ron. You know, they have 8 guys who started Virginia. So that experience, even though some guys will be unhappy, that'll wind up helping over the course of a long ACC season.
Rashon Clark, a freshman out of Queens, New York, comes into the lineup. Shot is not there. Tipped back by Clark. And a tough move inside by Davis. And he was fouled. Tell you what, the play inside is not for the timid. 11:50 remaining until halftime. Let's take a break. UVA 10 and Iowa State 9. We'll be right back.
Successful investing. At T. Rowe Price, it's about more than just hitting home runs. It's about a consistent, steady approach, year after year. Over 75% of our funds beat their 1, 5, and 10-year Lipper averages. Low-cost mutual funds from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a complete prospectus or profile with investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing.
That for the kids?
Yeah, I just got them some sweaters.
I just got us all on the Verizon Wireless Family Share Plan with N. That way they can talk to their friends all they want. Good luck with that.
Good luck with this.
Sign up for the Family Share Plan, and the whole family can make unlimited in-calls to each other and any other Verizon Wireless customer from within the America's Choice coverage area. Plus, buy 1 LG VX3200 for $19.99 and get up to 3 free.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
Morning, Jack.
Morning, Barbara.
Good holiday spirit. Oh, morning, Jack.
Good holiday spirit.
Good holiday spirit.
Good holiday spirit.
Huh? Huh? Huh?
Too much holiday spirit, Phil.
Get a free reindeer ball with any large combo at Jack in the Box. It's just the right amount of holiday spirit.
This holiday, discover the magic at Radio Shack. And during our big 2-day sale, Tuesday and Wednesday only, get huge savings on wireless phones. Like this Samsung A650 color screen flip phone from Verizon Wireless, free with new 2-year agreement. Or this Motorola V60s flip phone from Verizon Wireless, also free with new 2-year agreement. Great gifts they'll love at the 2-day sale, Tuesday and Wednesday, right in your neighborhood.
Only at Radio Shack.
Virginia on top by 1. And a reminder, you don't want to miss the Jimmy V Classic tomorrow night at ESPN. How about this lineup? 7 o'clock, Memphis takes on number 12, Pittsburgh. Then at 9 o'clock, 2 teams out of the top 5. Number 5, Oklahoma State. And number 4, Syracuse. The Jimmy V Classic powered by Pontiac.
Ron, you and I will see Oklahoma State quite a bit this year. That'll be a fun matchup tomorrow night.
Yeah, well, there's the new poll. Not surprised, I guess, after what happens at the top-ranked team. It's still a lot of hoops left to play. Illinois, Kansas, Georgia Tech, Syracuse, and Oklahoma State, the first 5.
Now, do you think Syracuse can score more than 29 points tomorrow night? They knocked off Washington State Saturday, 81-29.
Set all kind of defensive records for the Cowboys of Stillwater. I love good crowds like this. Boy, they make a lot of noise, but when it comes time for that putt on number 18, it's what it's like. You could hear a pin drop in here. Elton Brown and Homan with quite a battle inside on the free throw line. Second one coming. Trying to tie it up at 10. Well, he missed them both. Boy, free throw shooting has not been good by either team tonight. Iowa State 0 of 4, and Virginia's what 3 of 4. Nice work and get it over to Brown, and that right there is an example of what that lost weight has done for him.
You know, Ron, it all started with the double team on Brown. He was able to kick it out to the weak side. He worked on that in practice today. Excellent ball movement.
We outside, three-pointer rattled home Stinson, and he's finally on the board at the 11:05 mark of this opening half. The crowd likes it. Here comes the trap.
Little 1-2-2. Virginia does a good job of getting it across.
Reynolds for 3. Nope. Tipped around. Homan comes away with it. And Stinson got tripped up inadvertently. Got his feet tangled with big Elton Brown. A little smile on his face, but a little less skin on his knee also. Faulkner. Nice reversal. Couldn't get it to go. Homan will follow and score.
One of the things in the matchup zone is it does create opportunity to drive. Both Faulkner and Homan able to get into the paint that time.
Bannister, tough drive to the hoop, score it, and the foul on Homan.
What a great job by T.J. Bannister of taking his body into Homan. He drew the contact, and then he was able to hang in the air. Keep an eye now. He comes right at Homan, absorbs the contact, and then uses that spin off the glass.
Jared taking the posture that not going to let you score and will send you to the line for a couple. But Bannister with an outstanding job, no taller than he is, getting the ball up and over the 6'10" Jared Homan.
You know, Ron, you made that point earlier. Everybody's talking about Sean Singletary, but we both know, you know, Al McGuire used to say the best thing about freshmen is they become sophomores. T.J. Bannister has that year under his belt. He's going to be a very valuable member of his team, but he can't lose confidence in himself. He's going to get plenty of opportunities to contribute.
As you can see, Jimmy Burr checking with the official score. UVA up by 1, 15-14, and about to go under 10 minutes to play in this opening half. Jimmy, a veteran we've all seen around for a long time. And that should be correct now. 15-14, Virginia on top.
Well, and this is the case with most officials, but when you, as a coach, see Jim Burr home or away, you kind of sleep a little bit better knowing that you're going to get a very well officiated game. You know, the running disagreement sometimes with coaches is, do you want a young guy who does a couple games a week, or a veteran that might do 5 or 6 games a week? You've heard that, Ron, about all these guys, how much they work. I'd rather have that guy with the veteran experience. It's like having a good judge when you go to traffic court.
I I think these veteran guys also know how to pace themselves.
Yes, they do.
Inside to Faulkner. Nice pass and a nice score for him. Faulkner, who has been bothered by the sore knee, as I mentioned, not 100%. Doing a nice job off the bench tonight. He was second-team All-State in the state of Illinois, a sophomore out of Peoria.
Oh, he kind of has that Jackson Groman frame a little bit, and that's that energy level that Wayne Morgan is looking for out of that 4 spot.
Clark picked up the foul, and that's 18 fouls on Iowa State. So Bannister goes to the line. Ron Franklin, Fran Fraschilla coming to you from Iowa State University, Hilton Coliseum. And the students are out in force tonight as they want to see this Big 12 local group put down the ACC, which is quite an accomplishment this year because top to bottom in that conference, very, very tough in 04 and 05. Boy, Stinson with the runner. Tough shot right there. Good job by Faulkner to get the long carom. Rashon Clark, freshman out of Queens. Stinson gets the steal, feeds it off to Blalock, back to Stinson, and he'll score. Thought for a moment maybe a little too much gingerbread, but not the case.
Well, Devin Smith falling asleep at the other end. Stinson picked his pocket.
Pete wants a timeout, a full timeout. Now this is when the Hilton Crazies really start to make a difference in the ball game. Boy, they are up and making a lot of noise.
Well, they make a difference because of the great ball handling, passing ability of this outstanding backcourt. This is a big lift. Rashon Clark, more of an athletic slasher, but that time shoots that sideways knuckleball, knocks it in. And then Curtis Stinson, what can you say? He and Blalock really know how to play together.
Stinson almost surprised that Devin came back to him. He dropped him a little pass right there, bobbled it momentarily, and then scored. So Iowa State on top with their largest lead of the night, 4 points. Really haven't had a decisive lead by anybody in the early going. A lot of quick hands, a lot of bodies banging inside. The officials letting them play within reason.
Yep. Well, the thing we joked about Pete Gillen's timeouts. Ron, he's got that reputation of calling quick timeouts, but this is a perfect example of why he uses those timeouts. You don't want Iowa State to get on a 10 or 12-0 run.
Yeah.
And on the road, you just want to stay in the game until halftime. Even if he has to burn 4 of them, you don't want your team to be out of the game this early. So it's probably a wise one.
Both of these teams were tight when they came out tonight, and they also were very focused as far as defense. And we both commented during the timeout that both clubs put up a couple of air balls uncharacteristically.
And a lot of it has been because of the quick hands of these guards, the good defense. And again, you'll see the matchup zone, a show zone, but they'll play man-to-man in an area. So you see a lot of pointing going on. Bannister will take the ball.
Blalock, alley-oop, and it was not there. Homan was coming for the follow, but there was a Virginia foul.
Well, Ron, I had a chance to see Rashon Clark back in October, came up and watched practice, and he put on a dunking exhibition that was outstanding.
Elton Brown picks up the foul, his first. And in fouls, that's a total of 8 now on Virginia. Singletary comes back into the lineup, and Bannister will go to the bench. Here's a situation also where TJ did make some things happen, but sometimes when you've been relegated to the bench and you're no longer the starter, you try to make too much happen. And a couple of cases like the little scoop pass inside, maybe a little too much, instead of bringing it back out and resetting the offense.
Well, and Pete Gillen, as we mentioned earlier, he's had to be delicate about this. He calls both point guards the starting point guards. And again, over the course of a long season, you can't get down because he's going to have a lot of opportunities to be a big factor for this Virginia team.
Well short on the second one.
Let's see how Singletary reacts now if he loses any aggressiveness with the 2 fouls.
Singletary penetrates, gets the dish off, not there. Garrett Homan with the rebound. And Blalock will run on the wing. Stinson, nope, wouldn't go, but he's going to go to the line for a couple.
And Ron, if you get the ball to Will Blalock in the backcourt, if you're playing with him, all you've got to do is take off and run your lane hard, and you know you're going to get an opportunity to score. That time, Curtis Stinson got shot out of a cannon, and he knows that Blalock's going to find him at the other end.
Adrian Joseph, who the foul was called on. 6 points now for Stinson. 8 minutes, 20 seconds left until halftime. 602 career points in 37 games. Fastest to reach 600 in the school's history.
Now, this is something they worked on earlier today. They're going to try to keep it out of Singletary's hands in this press.
Smith put it on the floor once. Now back over the corner. Joseph well off the mark. An air ball there. And Faulkner will come away with it.
Well, that's the 3rd air ball, and it's not because these guys aren't good shooters. I think they're not used to the sight lines. Really, their 2nd road game of the year. This game a lot more intense than the game that they won at Northwestern last Wednesday.
I watched tape of that game. That was a toughie. On the floor, great job of hustle. Did he save it? Yes. Well, Rashon Clark right down on his knees, making sure that Virginia didn't come up with that one. Inside to Homan, and Jared will dish it off to Faulkner. 4 seconds on the shot clock, and a half to hurry. Faulkner, the runner, and he got it. I'm not even sure he palmed it.
Well, and it was a great look by Blalock, but how about the energy of Faulkner? Wayne Morgan has been looking for this in the early part of the season.
Largest lead of the night. 3-pointer on the way, and it's not there. Is that going to be a 3-shot foul on Faulkner? Maybe. 3 fouls on Faulkner. Yep, and Larry is saying, Larry Rose is saying it's a 3-shot foul. So Faulkner at one end comes up with a huge loop as the shot clock is running down, but then a foul at the other end.
3,000 cash back at the mall? A 10-year warranty from Santa? 0% financing on a candied yam? Probably not, but you will get all this and more at Kia's year-end sales event. It only happens once a year. Get up to $3,000 cash back. Hurry, offer ends January 3rd.
A GM car, any GM car. Want to get out of it? Bill Jensen's Crescent Chevrolet may be able to get you out of that lease early. If your lease ends on or before July 31st, 2005, and your mile limit is getting close, Bill Jensen's Crescent Chevrolet can get you out of that lease and into a new GM Smart Lease or Smart Buy. No penalties, no extra charges, no hassles. So bring in your Smart Lease or Smart Buy GM car, any GM car. We'll do the math and show you what a great deal is waiting for you at Bill Jensen's Crescent Chevrolet, 17th and Ingersoll.
Would you like to come in for a bit?
Yeah, if it's no problem. Hey, you're back from your date. I was just about to watch Miracle on Stars on Demand, but I can watch that anytime. So, have I told you about MediaCom Online? It is so fast. I was just catching up on my fantasy football team. Tracking stats, check it out. This is cool. You know, you're a lot more fun than her other boyfriend.
Dad!
Call 877-82-CABLE to get the super fast speeds of MediaCom Online for just $19.95 a month for 3 months. Call today.
So we're back 26-17. Virginia trailing, but they got an opportunity. Watch what happens. Devin Smith fouled by Faulkner, and double jeopardy here. Faulkner picks up his 3rd foul. He has to go to the bench, and he fouled him beyond the arc.
And now, Ron, because of the new rule this year, you shoot the free throws after the electronic media timeout. The thing I don't like about this rule, obviously the officials have got to make sure the right guy shoots it, but it gives the coach 2 minutes to scheme. if Smith were not a great shooter, he could tell Smith, hey, by the way, you're hurt. We need to get a good foul shooter in. Don't think that won't happen this year.
Gets the first one to go. By the way, Virginia has 6 turnovers, which means they got more turnovers than they have field goals. It's the free throw line that has saved them. They're 7 of 8 with 2 more opportunities to come here. Make it 8 of 9 as Devin Smith just pumping them home like a machine.
Well, Wayne Morgan found that 4-man he was looking for. Robert Faulkner giving him that energy, but then he picks up that 3rd foul.
Boy, he swishes all 3. So the free throw line has been the difference so far. 90% for the Cavaliers, and it's keeping them in the ball game. It cuts the lead to 6. Blalock dishes inside. Ball is blocked on the floor. Blalock will come back with it.
They're still in that. They're still in a matchup zone. They'll go through with some cutters, and then they'll pass off other cutters to each other. The only thing I don't like about this defense is with the quickness of Iowa State, it gets you standing around, and it takes advantage of Blalock and Stinson getting into the lane.
Boy, that is the 3rd foul on Singletary, and he's got no choice right here with still, what have we got, 6 minutes 39 seconds till intermission. It's great hustle, but he's got to go to the bench.
Well, this is important right here. You see the freshman, not necessarily a mistake, it's more of an error of commission.
Yeah. But
this is where TJ Bannister gets a chance to show what he can do. Brilliant at the end of last year, relegated to not starting. Now he's going to get an opportunity these last 6 minutes to keep Virginia in the game.
So double bonus also, but still a lot of time showing on the clock. 10 team fouls against the Cavaliers and 1 more against Iowa State, and they put the Cavs into a double bonus situation. Big Elton Brown got a breather. He's back in the ball game and replacing Jason Clark.
Iowa State has done a nice job of double teaming Elton Brown inside of that 2-3 zone. He has not been much of a factor.
Boy, they had it beaten right there. Turn around and he gets the shot to go. Devin Smith really impressive because they had a nice play in the low pass. He's really fortunate that he was able to come away with it.
He's a really versatile player. He can play both inside and out.
Homan nothing doing on that one. Devin Smith with a rebound. And we got a similar situation. Just Tasheed Carr just trying to hustle for the basketball and is called for the foul. It's 10 now on Iowa State.
Well, another one of those freshman mistakes of exuberance by Tasheed Carr.
Well, you don't want to miss the Jimmy V Classic tomorrow night on ESPN. 7 o'clock. It is Memphis against number 12 Pittsburgh. Then at 9 o'clock, Oklahoma State number 5 in the country against Syracuse number 4. Jimmy V Classic powered by Pontiac.
Of course, that's a rematch of the second round matchup a couple of years ago when Syracuse went all the way, won the championship.
They knocked off Oklahoma State.
They won the Big 12 that year.
Yeah, you know something? Interestingly enough, last year after that happened, a lot of 2-3 zones.
That's right.
By teams that never play zone in this conference.
That's
but
right.
Not Coach Sutton.
Not Coach Sutton. Rick Barnes, Kelvin Sampson, they came up, not Coach Knight either, by the way.
Yeah. Under 6 minutes left until halftime. 4-point ball game. Nice job by Virginia to just continually chipping away here. Shot clock about to go under 10. Stinson pulls up, moving to his left. Tip inside. Boy, that is a good job of hustle by Davis.
Now, that's what Wayne Morgan needs from his 4th and 5th guys on the court. Just a lot of energy and hustle plays.
I talked about they don't look for a lot of points from him, but a good defender. Crowd wanted steps to be called, but that's not the case. And a 3-pointer, I'll tell you what, right now, good thing that Devin Smith packed his uniform tonight because he's carrying his teammates at this moment.
Well, he's a senior, and he has been through a lot of adversity at Virginia, but he is the heart and soul of this team.
Davis with a runner.
Interesting about Anthony Davis, he signed at Long Beach State to play with for Wayne Morgan. Wayne Morgan left, eventually ended up here in Ames with Wayne Morgan.
Step on the sideline. And Devin Smith comes running over to his teammate Reynolds. They said, just slow it down a little bit. At home, yep, you would have gotten that call, but you're on the roads.
That's
you're
it.
not going to get that call.
Wait a minute, Ron. I just got done talking about the integrity of the official.
Well, I mean, you understand what I mean.
Yes, yes.
Stinson, way outside 3.
Most of his damage is done in the lane. That's his second 3 tonight.
10 points now, and he pushes it back out to an 8-point ball game. Devin Smith lost it, and on the reach in.
Tell you what, both teams with really, really quick hands.
Davis with the second foul. Jared Homan, I think, thought they were going to call it on him. Well, as I mentioned just a moment ago, where would the Cavaliers be without this gentleman tonight? 13 points. The rest of the team, 14 points.
Well, when you talk to Virginia people about Devin Smith, here's a guy that was not recruited out of high school by any big schools. Went to junior college, Coffeyville. Yep, right in Kansas. Came out because he was eligible to play as a sophomore. He had a knee injury. He had a herniated disc a year ago. Didn't practice most of the end of last season. Still got out on the court. He's one of those guys that's really handled the adversity of the injuries and has had a big career at Virginia.
Smith now 8 of 9 at the line tonight. And he really seems to have thrived off of any adversity that this crowd has tried to bring to him and to his teammates. Ball tipped away. Brown gets the steal. And Bannister bounces it back to Reynolds. About to go under 4 minutes left in this opening half.
There's a double team.
Tough drive inside, not there. On the follow. Wow, guess who? Devin Smith.
You know what's amazing about him, Ron? He's got great three-point shooting range, but he's 242 pounds, so he can throw his weight around inside as well.
He brings extra sandwiches to the picnic off that wing. And he muscled it inside right there.
He gets to eat as many as he wants.
That's exactly right. Curtis Stinson, now he's on fire. He's got 12, 15 on the other end for Devin Smith. So two guys that the clubs depend on greatly to score. But just as we brag on him, Devin, a little bit lackluster in receiving the pass, and it's a turnover. So let's take a timeout. 3:29 left until halftime. And the Cyclones keeping the distance here. They're up by 6.
I'll reach over and flick up that toggle. The only place in the world where I can have a day where everything goes my way. All I want to do is race, Daddy. It's like you.
Winner ain't the guy with the fastest car, son. Just the one who refuses to lose.
The winner, Mr. Dale Earnhardt.
3 premieres Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Presented by K Jewelers.
3,000 cash back at the mall? A 10-year warranty from Santa? 0% financing on a candied yam? Probably not, but you will get all this and more at Kia's year-end sales event. It only happens once a year. Get up to $3,000 cash back. Hurry, offer ends January 3rd.
You got 20 seconds. 20. On Wednesday, mankind's greatest warrior will face the ultimate evil.
The original vampire. This guy has never had to evolve.
I'm impressed. Blade Trinity, rated R. Starts Wednesday.
Net Zero High Speed is going across America, so internet users can take the Net Zero High Speed Challenge. It lets you surf the web up to 5 times faster for only $14.95 a month.
There's no reason why you would not want to do this.
Get it at netzero.com.
Fresh made to order. Sonic's got it, others don't. At Sonic, you won't find any microwaves around here, but you will find delicious all-beef burgers served with the freshest ingredients around and made after you order them, the way you like them. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Scott Reese, Digger Phelps back in the studio. Coming up at halftime, a coaching change at Southern Cal. The new top 25 poll is out. We will discuss that, as well as Digger's impact freshman in college basketball, and one of those guys on the bench with 3 fouls.
3 fouls, and that's the difference, because without him on the floor, they can't get it going. But Devin Smith can take this game over. He had 25 against Iowa State last year.
We'll see you at halftime. Ron and Fran, back to you.
Okay, guys, we look forward to it. Yeah, Digger, we talked about that off the top of the telecast, that he really had his way last year, so it's no surprise to the Cyclones that this guy can get off, but he's really been impressive tonight. Did commit the turnover just a moment ago, and the reason that the Cyclones have the basketball. Look at this number here at home, 20-1, and then on the road at neutral sites, 3-13.
Well, some of those places they went on the road last year pretty tough, like Lawrence, Stillwater. But,
you know, and in this conference, just as in all good conferences, you know, there are not too many places on the road where you say, hey, you know, we'd like to take the family and camp out here. I mean, it's not easy to win.
But that's what makes the good teams. You look at Oklahoma State and Kansas, they do go on the road and win.
Homan, a little short on that one. Good job by Anthony Davis. Comes away with it to get a new 35 seconds. And under 3 to play. Homan got to reverse this one, and falling away. Got it.
You know, he got that friendly hometown bounce off the rim.
TJ Bannister pushes it up. Back to Elton Brown. Ball was tipped. Iowa State comes away with it. Boy, they just keep forcing. Stinson at the other end. Still no call. Ball is loose.
And if you block that ball against the board on the way up, it's not goaltending.
Bannister for 3. Neal. And now they got numbers. Look at this, 5-on-2. And Homan is fouled by Devin Smith.
What a great look by Stinson to get the ball to Blalock in the middle of the court. He said, "Let you take over, you make the play," and he did.
And then great sportsmanship as he reaches down and helps Homan up. Homan, one of the really good stories. I thought he and Jason Klotz were the 2 most improved kids in the Big 12 Conference last year. But Jared really has come a very, very long way. And his mom and dad, 2 of the nicest people you'd ever want to be around. They're dairy farmers from Remsen, Iowa. You recruited him. You've been.
I did.
There they are right there.
There's Dave and Renee Homan. I got a chance to get on my first dairy farm. And he will be up at 4 o'clock tomorrow morning milking the cows.
They never miss a home game. It's about 2 hours and 45 minutes. They'll drive back, get back after midnight, and then, as Fran said, Dad is back up and out there. Milking cows, folks, you've got to be a disciplined human being if you do that for a living.
Well, Mr. Homan told me earlier that Jackson Broman last year was dying for that milk every time they came to Ames. And he said, Mr. Homan, that makes me diesel.
But he still brings his son a gallon every time he comes, doesn't he?
Yep.
Straight from the farm.
See that zone again? Virginia's done a nice job of getting it inside, but haven't been able to finish.
Plenty of time in a shot clock. They don't have to hurry. But Devin Smith, boy, strong move to the hoop, and 2 more for him. He is at 19 points in his first half.
And Ron, another great look by Elton Brown off the double team to get it to the weak side of the floor and open up that driving line for Devin Smith.
Big Elton showing the capacity several times tonight of being a very unselfish player.
Most teams don't practice handling the double team in the post. They did today at the shoot-around.
Boy, a couple of close-in opportunities, and Iowa State unable to take advantage. Smith. Basket counts.
Well, this great play by T.J. Bannister. He knows that he's going to the right, but Devin Smith is spotting up to the left. Watch him. He leaves his feet, but he knows that Smith is on the line. He gets a great look in the foul. And Devin Smith has shown you what he can do, Ron. How about the versatility of scoring at the rim, taking it to the hole, follow-ups, and then the three-pointers?
Brown misses the first. So 22 points for Smith.
Well, after that basket, obviously, Elton Brown gets fouled inside, so he comes up with 2 more free throws.
Gets the second one. So on that trip down the floor, 4 points for the Cavaliers, and they pull back to within 4 points.
It's really important, Ron, that both teams manage the clock right now, this last minute 10. You see how Virginia passes players off? They bump.
Clark not there. On the floor, here comes Reynolds, and they'll push it up. Good job of transition by Iowa State, but on the wing.
You think he's feeling it?
More points. And Devin Smith is just shooting lights out. He had 25 this weekend. He's already got 25 in the first half. 7 of 10 from the field.
Well, and what makes him so dangerous is his versatility.
Not there, and this is just what you were talking about. It's a 1-point ball game. Cavaliers can take the lead, and they do.
Tell you what, look at Elton Brown smile. I tell you what, I watched him a couple times this year. He loves to play the game. And Ron, just, the great job right here of Virginia's guards to find Smith, and Smith runs right to the three-point line, and then watch the big guy just tiptoeing through the tulips and avoids the charge.
Iowa State was up by 10, and right now Virginia up by 1. Coming up on the halftime report, Scott Reese and Digger Phelps. Southern Cal makes a change. Henry Bibby was fired, a new top 25, and Digger focuses on impact freshmen. I tell you, Pete has got to be extremely pleased with his ball club to be down 10 on the road. His crowd was really into it. They not only took the crowd out of it, but Devin Smith has just been devastatingly Devin. 25 points in his first half of play. 28.5 seconds left until intermission.
Well, if you're Iowa State right now, you want to get the last shot of the half. There's no reason, unless you get a wide open layup, to give Virginia the opportunity to get the ball back again. I've seen this a number of times, Ron, in the last couple of years, where teams just don't play the end of the shot clock like they used to.
You know what started this entire thing is when Smith was fouled and went to the free throw line and canned 3 in a row.
Yep.
And that's almost when the momentum took a shift toward Virginia.
See right here, they stay in that matchup zone. You'll see the heads turn on Virginia. That means they're looking to pass guys off to each other. Anytime you see pointing like that, they're staying in that matchup.
Under 10 seconds. Blalock pumps it once, missed the point-blank range shot. 1 second on the clock, and they head to the locker room, down by 10 and now up by 1. Our score at halftime, Virginia 42 and Iowa State 41 because of that man, and 25 first half points. Now let's send it to Scott Reese with the halftime report. Scott.
All right, Ron, thank you so much. Henry Bibby out as USC head coach just 4 games into the season. Digger and I will discuss the curious timing of that decision. And, of course, the new top 25 poll is out. We'll talk about that and the impact freshmen in college basketball, including Sean Singletary.
ESPN2's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Kia Motors. Kia, make every mile count.
$3,000 cash back at the mall? A 10-year warranty from Santa? 0% financing on a candied yam? Probably not, but you will get all this and more at Kia's year-end sales event. It only happens once a year. Get up to $3,000 cash back. Hurry, offer ends January 3rd.
Scent is the strongest sense tied to memory. How will you be remembered? Introducing Red Zone Body Spray and 4 great scents. Spice things up.
it's me.
Hi.
You want anything from McDonald's?
Whatever, you know what I like.
Sure. I have no clue what she likes. Most of the time, I'm thinking about bass fishing. Ooh, a lot of choices on the dollar menu. Dad, all of it. Who knows you better than me, huh?
And here's something else you'll love. A treasure hunt 2,000 years in the making. National Treasure, only in theaters.
Regency. At Regency Homes, it's about building smarter. It's about building healthier, environmentally friendly homes. It's about building homes that are safe, secure, and energy efficient. It's about smarter financing. Regency. Building smarter. When you add it up, it's about getting a lot more home for your money. It's about building the new American dream. Regency Home. Contact your real estate professional.
Who can get you online fast when speed really counts? Only cable can. And we deliver with Mediacom Online, the high-speed internet service that connects you to what's important in your life. Music, games, news, and more. Just point, click, and zoom. So when speed really counts, Mediacom, delivering on the promise.
It is the Cavs by 1 at Iowa State. A furious comeback late in the first half, fueled by Devin Smith. 25 points for Virginia. Hi, everyone, and this is the Halftime Report. Scott Reese alongside Digger Phelps. Big news out of Los Angeles today as USC basketball coach Henry Bibby was fired just 4 games into the new season. The Trojans stand at 2-2. Bibby in his 9th season at the school. Overall record of 131-111. That includes a couple of NCAA tournament runs, including a Final 8 appearance back in 2001. Assistant Jim Saya appointed interim coach for the rest of this season. And Coach, first of all, the timing of this rather curious. 4 games into a new year.
Yeah, it really is. You let a coach start a season, start practice, get into the flow of the season. Next thing you know, you're gone after 4 games. And only 2 weeks into the season. But when you look at Henry Bibby, you go back to that 2000-2001 year when they get to the Elite 8. They knock off Kentucky in the Sweet 16. This is when they had Sam Clancy and those guys. They really played hard. They were very physical. And then they get to the Elite 8 and lose to Duke by double figures. The next year, you figure with Sam Clancy coming back, they should make it back to the Elite 8, make it to the Final Four. No, they lose in the first round to North Carolina Wilmington. That was the beginning of the end because 2 straight losing seasons before this season. Now he goes 2-2, and they just feel at Southern Cal it's time to make the change, which it will shock a lot of head coaches because this is really early in the year.
And before the season started, athletic director Mike Garrett said it challenged Henry Bibby to get back to the NCAA tournament this season. After a 2-2 start, he's decided that his gut told him this was the right time to make a change. Well, certainly USC, Digger, not a factor right now in the top 25. Only 2 Pac-10 teams represented. Let's go through the new ESPN USA Today coaches poll, starting from the bottom up. We got Washington, Wisconsin, Mississippi State, Iowa, and George Washington in the poll at 5-1. I guess you beat Maryland and Michigan State. You're doing some things right.
Yeah, T.J. Thompson's the guy that did it. 27 points in that game against Maryland. But when you look at what they did to get it done, they averaged 98.5 points this weekend. Their only loss was in the preseason NIT when they had to play at Wake Forest, and since that time they've been on a roll, especially knocking off Michigan State by 13 and scoring 101 points on Maryland.
You mentioned Michigan State. The Spartans check in at 16. They will host Stanford on Saturday. Then it's Maryland, Alabama, Virginia, and Cincinnati, and the Cavs obviously in a tough one tonight.
Well, a tough one tonight, but the way they bounce back, being down 10 and up 1 at halftime. Look at that, 6-0, and they've jumped 6 spots to be number 19 going into this week.
We move on. Number 11, Kentucky. Number 12 is Pittsburgh at 5-0. Then you get Texas, Louisville, and Arizona coming off a nice win over Mississippi State.
And the reason why, Channing Frye, 18 points, 16 rebounds. Now, if Arizona understands what he can become for them, forget their 2 losses, because he did it against Mississippi State and Lawrence Roberts, the other true center in the country, who's an All-American candidate like Channing Frye. Roberts only had 7 points, 7 rebounds in 34 minutes, but I just like the way Frye's getting it done.
And Pittsburgh at 5-0, hanging in at number 12.
It's got to be the inside game. Chris Taft, Chevy Troutman, They make the big points when they count, and they will challenge Memphis tomorrow night in that first game in the Jimmy V Classic in Madison Square Garden at 7 o'clock Eastern.
And you'll be down there for that. Should be a terrific doubleheader. You have 6 through 10, UConn, Wake, North Carolina, Duke, NC State. A lot of NCC here, or ACC here.
And I like North Carolina, the way they're coming back. I think since they lost to Santa Clara, one guy, Rashon McCants, it seems like he's got the maturity, he's got the mindset, he's got the attitude. He's playing very hard. He had 20 of his first points, of his 28 points in the first half against Kentucky this weekend. With Raymond Felton at backcourt, they really got it together.
Your top 5, all unbeaten, and no surprise, Illinois vaults to number 1, Digger.
They did it because of what they did to Wake Forest last week. And D. Brown in that first half, he only shoots 53% shooting threes. Wow, that's not too bad. But how about in the first half when Darren Williams gets in foul trouble? He takes the game on in the first half against Chris Paul and Justin Gray. 16 points, 6 assists in the first half. The game was history. They had a tough game, but they got it done this weekend at Arkansas. They are number 1. They deserve to be number 1, and they have earned it.
Illinois in action tonight against Chicago State. And, oh, by the way, Illinois fans and college sports fans might be interested to know that the Illini will name a new football coach tomorrow, and that man is former Florida Gator coach Ron Zook. News conference scheduled for 2 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. Again, Ron Zook set to take over the football program at the University of Illinois. More halftime coming up, and we'll talk about the impact freshmen in college hoops, including, well, a guy who's on the bench with 3 fouls tonight, Sean Singletary.
Honey, I got that dessert you like.
Oh, great.
Oh, and look what else I got. Honey? Kids, relax. It's natural citrus Listerine. It's less intense.
Sure, all right. Sounds good.
Less intense natural citrus Listerine with the same germ-killing power to fight plaque and gingivitis. For a cleaner, healthier mouth. You can handle it. Germs can't. And now, the instant breath-freshening power of Listerine Pocket Packs comes in new fresh citrus. The less intense Pocket Packs.
Inside that microphone is something familiar. A battery. And while you might think all batteries are the same, consider this. When Bon Jovi puts on a show, the battery that powers their microphones is always a Duracell. So whether you've got 50,000 screaming fans or you're working a slightly smaller room, it just has to work. Duracell. Trusted everywhere.
Say your husband went a little overboard buying the Christmas tree this year. Well, at Tractor Supply Company, we can help. There you have it, the perfect amount of holiday spirit.
You know, I remember I made the first phone call.
Barbara.
Alligators evolved over 200 million years. And like other reptiles, scientists can tell their age by looking...
Jim.
Yeah?
Tonight's not good for me. How's Tuesday?
Sure.
This holiday season, get a DirecTV DVR with TiVo so you can watch your favorite shows when you're ready. Sign up now and get one for under $50. Call 1-800-DirecTV today.
I can't get the special one out of my head. All of this pressure, my mind's on the road.
Welcome back to the Halftime Report. Scott Reese alongside Digger Phelps. And, you know, Digger, one of the exciting things every new season is you get to see some of the top freshmen in college basketball. Your buddy Dick Vitale calls them diaper dandies. And we got a pretty good six-pack right there.
Well, every conference seems to have 1 or 2 key freshmen to make things happen. So as we take a look, Daniel Gibson at Texas. He has really been the one freshman point guard to take over a team for what has become a team that lost 4 great players last year, University of Texas, and is doing a great job for Rick Barnes. I think he's got this team in motion. Each game they get better and better, and they will be a factor in the Big 12 race going against Oklahoma State and Kansas. Very solid player, and Daniel Gibson. The second guy from Virginia, even though he's in foul trouble tonight, the reason why this team is doing as well as it is, this freshman point guard, especially against, you got it, Arizona, when they were ranked big, they beat him by 18 points. He has 15 points in the game. and 8 assists for a rookie point guard, especially on the road. Now he's got to learn how to stay out of foul trouble.
Yeah.
And then finally, from UConn, I was really impressed with what he did this weekend. Rudy Gay, very solid performance, a double-double against Indiana. 11 points and 10 rebounds. There's no pressure on him. He can blend into this lineup, and he's been a factor with Boone and company on that floor, and very solid for what he can do for Jim Calhoun and that team.
Which of these guys has made the biggest impact on their team so far?
It's got to be Sean Singletary, because he gets his team ranked when they beat Arizona. Now they jump 6 spots. Yes, he's in foul trouble tonight in this first half, but he has been solid, and that's the reason why Virginia is 6-0 and ranked in the top 20 to this point of the season.
Got to throw out Drew Neitzel at Michigan State and Ronald Steele of Alabama as well, 2 other important cogs in their respective machines. They are back underway at Stores. A power outage turned the lights out there for a while.
Didn't pay the bill.
Yeah,
got to pay for those lights, Jimmy.
But UConn is now righted the ship, and well, the lights on. Everybody can see what's going on, which is a 7-point lead for the Huskies.
It'll be bigger than that. This game will be history soon.
Devin Smith, 25 in the game last year against Iowa State, 25 in the first half today. Second half coming right up.
Meet the straight line intersect. Just stick, and it automatically levels 3 laser lines for perfectly square results. So tame the tiles, sharpshoot the shelves, and conquer the collage. Intersect, another advanced electronic tool from Straight Line.
Scent is the strongest scent tied to memory. How will you be remembered? Introducing Red Zone Body Spray and 4 great scents. Spice things up.
Hungry? Then call Papa John's for dinner.
Dinner?
Now get Papa's Fortunate Deal. A large Papa John's pizza with up to 5 toppings for just $13.99. And get a Lemony Snicket CD-ROM with computer games, behind-the-scenes footage, and more. A large Papa John's pizza and a Lemony Snicket CD-ROM, just $13.99.
Dinner is served.
See Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events, starring Jim Carrey, opening December 17th.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
In the 70s, he was the coolest guy alive. Now, hey, he's back.
You just yanking my chain?
I didn't even know you had a chain.
In the biggest comedy event
thank you.
of the holiday season.
What's that on your head?
It's my hat.
Why don't you take it off?
I have no face.
Fat Albert.
I'm looking for Mr. Cosby.
Rated PG this Christmas only.
There are jobs, and then there's MediaCom, where you can reach your potential and reach for the stars. MediaCom is a growing communications company looking for someone like you, someone who wants a rewarding job, opportunities, and benefits that go way beyond any paycheck. You can get a job, or you can start a career. Give us a call, visit our website, see what we have to offer. MediaCom is a step up to reaching the stars.
Come on in.
I'll be right down.
You want to watch TV while she's getting ready? It could take a while. Good thing we've got DVR. I recorded your game last night on the MediaCom channel. Check out this highlight. You won't get that on a dish, only on MediaCom. You don't have a dish, do you? Take my advice. MediaCom is the way to go.
Speaking of going.
In a bit. Play that part again.
Get the gift that lasts. Free DVR service for a year, plus Stars and Showtime for just $9.95 a month for the first 3 months. Call 877-82-CABLE today.
ESPN2's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the Straight Line family of electronic tools.
So as we prepare for the second half, 42-41, Virginia on top, and there's been the man. He has scored 20 of the last 25 points, Devin Smith. Take a look at some of his outstanding play in the first half.
Well, the thing that makes Devin Smith so dangerous is he's 6'5", 242. So he can shoot the ball from outside. He's obviously strong enough as well to go into the lane and draw contact, finish shots. But this is a guy that the Virginia coaches told us earlier today is the heart and soul of this team, the senior from Newcastle, Delaware, who has been injured most of his career and played hurt on many nights.
Let's take a look at the stats in the first half. 46% UVA, 41% for Iowa State. Rebounds, Iowa State leads it 21-18. Second chance points, they lead that. They have 9 assists and only 5 turnovers. But Devin Smith has been the answer to everything here tonight. Wow.
Well, he almost single-handedly has erased that 10-point Iowa State lead they had mostly through the first half. See again, Virginia comes out in that matchup zone.
Dishes it off to Homan, and he had the ball knocked away, and he was fouled by Reynolds.
One of the things about the matchup zone is it stretches you, because watch Elton Brown get caught away from the basket, and that opens up the interior, and Homan gets fouled underneath by a guard, Reynolds, who had to rotate down. That matchup zone, Ron, is like a piece of silly putty that you bend it and shape it, but sometimes in bending it and shaping it, your big guys get caught away from the basket.
Homan with a second opportunity. Fouls a problem with both teams in the first half. Both had the other in double bonus very quickly in the first half. Singletary off the wing. Smith, well, one of his rare misses tonight. Stinson at the other end. He will drive it and score it.
Oh, that's the patented teardrop move by Stinson, who shoots that floater in the lane.
This time Blalock will push it up. So Iowa State back on top by 1. And as Fran mentioned, they led the most 10 points, and they were in that 7, 8, 10-point range until about the last 2.5, 3 minutes of that first half, when unbelievably Devin Smith had 20 of the last 25 points for the Cavaliers. I'm trying to remember the last time I saw somebody score 25 in the first half.
That's right.
Second half maybe, but not first half.
Well, what he did was he took the air out of Iowa State's balloon, so it's really important for Iowa State to get that momentum back, get this crowd back into it.
Nice bounce passes. Clark back out on the perimeter, and that's going to be travel. Reynolds trying to make a pass, but he got hung up. Couldn't get it away.
Now watch Curtis Stinson now. One of the things he's known for is that ability to shoot that floater. And watch him now, just a little high runner before the shot blocker can get to him. He's made that a very effective move. The guys who learn that shot are usually smaller guys who are playing on the playground with the big guys. You got to find a way to get good shots at the basket.
Stinson being from the Bronx.
Played on a few playgrounds.
I was going to say he's seen more than his share. Tip inside. And give it to Faulkner.
Ron, we've seen a pretty good Jackson Broman imitation from Faulkner tonight.
That's what they're looking for. Yep. Devin Smith, his first 2 of the second half.
Well, the dangerous thing here for Iowa State, he's off to actually a better start this half than he was in the first half. But once you start making jumpers, it opens up the lane with that shot fake and that ability to get to the basket.
Neal with a second foul.
Ron, what's really impressive about this guy is how versatile he is. The way he can score from all angles on the court, the great range, and also the strength to go inside.
Well, he kept knocking down the threes, but as we talked about at 242, he took a couple of tough shots inside as well. Stinson left them all. Well, that time Devin Smith gave him just enough daylight.
And he's 3 for 3 from beyond the line tonight.
Elton Brown. Nope. Homan on the rebound.
Oh, what a great pass.
And he missed it. That one would have gone in the highlight reel for sure. Reynolds well off on that shot.
I'll tell you what's really impressive about both teams. We talked about this early in the game. They weren't making shots early, but the ball movement and passing has been outstanding both ways.
Devin Smith fouled, and is that number 4 on Faulkner?
Well, Devin Smith again sets that move up with the shot fake. When you're knocking down threes like he has, But I got to tell you, this pass is one heck of a pass. Watch how he threads the needle right on the money, and then just not able to finish as Stinson uncharacteristically misses the layup.
So Faulkner does pick up his fourth. He's bringing a lot of energy, but he's also picking up some fouls that are keeping him on the bench. We mentioned they're looking for someone either with a Roman mask or someone who can play that way, and he really has brought that kind of energy. You're exactly right, Fran.
Well, you know how well from seeing Iowa State last year what Jackson Roman brought to the table, particularly at the end of last season.
Devin Smith is 11 of 12 at the free throw line. That jumper, he hit the side. Crowd wanted a foul on that one. The reversal couldn't get it to go, and now Iowa State will run it back up. 4-on-2, and Homan got it. Boy, that's a tough pass and tough for a big guy to control that kind of pace from that range.
That's a guy that's 6'10", about 250.
George forces the turnover for Iowa State, and Pete Gillen wants a timeout. Said, I got him, I'm going to take him. 16 minutes. Interesting timeout call because about to get one anyway. So let's take a timeout. One more look at this break right here. And Homan winds up with it. He scores it, and it's a 3-point Cyclone lead. Be right back.
The NCAA Women's Basketball Championship coming in March.
Yeah, come on, let's get out of here. When the best tasting light beer in the world and your friends connect.
Good morning.
It's easy to lose track of time. Sam Adams Light, the taste of good times.
Men don't like to shave. It hurts. What with the stinging, the redness, the pain. They'd rather do other things like light their shorts on fire or eat dirt. Easy, fellas. Nivea soothes the pain of shaving. Nivea for Men Aftershave Balm has moisturizers and vitamins to soothe and actually improve your skin. Hey, look at you. Now that wasn't so bad. Nivea for Men, more evolved skincare.
Successful investing. At T. Rowe Price, it's about more than just hitting home runs. It's about a consistent, steady approach, year after year. Over 75% of our funds beat their 1, 5, and 10-year Lipper averages. Low-cost mutual funds from T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence. Request a complete prospectus or profile with investment objectives, risks, fees, expenses, and other information to read and consider carefully before investing.
Hey, it's me.
Hi.
You want anything from McDonald's?
Whatever, you know what I like.
Sure. I have no clue what she likes. Most of the time, I'm thinking about bass fishing. Ooh, a lot of choices on the dollar menu. Dad, all of it. Who knows you better than me, huh?
And here's something else you'll love. A treasure hunt 2,000 years in the making. National Treasure, only in theaters rated PG.
So we are back 50-47. If Pete had waited one more second, he would have gotten an immediate timeout. And Fran was just checking with Larry Rose. He said, nope, it's Virginia's timeout, so they only have 2 left in the ball game.
But see, Ron, I like that because, people will go back and forth on this. I like the fact that Pete Gillen's taking that timeout to quell this run. And that's important now that they do that. And there's an immediate timeout coming on the next dead ball as well. But he wants to keep his team in this game as long as possible.
Jumper, a little too hard. And the ball, Stinson knocks it on the floor.
See, and I think Sean Singletary, now he went off after that ball very nonchalantly. He has got to understand he's playing against tough guards tonight, and he's got to get back into this game.
So now it's time for the media timeout. Still an Iowa State 3-point lead.
Like snowflakes, every dream is different, which is why at Infinity's limited engagement winter event, there's a different Infinity for every dream.
That for the kids?
Yeah, I just got him some sweaters.
I just got us all on the Verizon Wireless Family Share Plan with M. That way they can talk to their friends all they want. Good luck with that.
Good luck with this.
Sign up for the Family Share Plan and the whole family can make unlimited in-calls to each other and any other Verizon Wireless customer from within the America's Choice coverage area. Plus, buy one LG VX3200 for $19.99 and get up to 3 free.
Thanks, Mom.
Thanks, Mom.
Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
I see you alone, surrounded by enemies.
On Wednesday.
You can't win this war alone. Get ready to roll with this.
Blade, ready to die.
Since the day I was born.
Blade Trinity, rated R, starts Wednesday.
Wendy's founder, Dave Thomas, knew that you like to surprise now and then. And that's why Wendy's brought it back. Our Wild Mountain Bacon Cheeseburger. Of course, it's still prepared fresh so the beef is hot and juicy. But you'll experience a nice kick from the hot and smoky Southwestern pepper sauce. We even added Colby Jack cheese and bacon. Yep, Dave loved to surprise you. And we still do today. So don't wait. Wendy's, it's better here.
Wendy's pickup window is open till midnight or later.
Virginia trailing by 3. Devin Smith continues to be the story here. 25 first half points. He's already got 5 here in the second half. So that equals his career best at 30. Stinson with 17 points. He's off to a marvelous start. But it's just been Devin Smith has been unbelievably good.
Well, he's kept Virginia in this game, certainly, Ron, on the road. The interesting thing about Stinson is he comes in as not a great three-point shooter. Most of his game is of the playground variety, but he's 3 for 3 from deep tonight. And that's been another weapon in his offensive arsenal.
Clark comes back into the lineup, number 13. Rashon, a freshman out of Queens, New York. Great leaper. Saw him quite a bit in the latter portions of that first half.
They've got the 2 small guards in now, Bannister and Singletary, the 2 point guards. Now you see Iowa State extends that zone a little bit.
By the way, Davis playing to point in that 3/4 court press that they have inside, and Brown with the easy 2. Roy very quietly, he's in double figures, getting close to a double-double. He's got 9 points and he's got 8 rebounds.
And that was set up by a great dish by Singletary. You'll see Virginia now back in the zone. Clark not known as a shooter, although he hit one in the first half from deep.
Almost threw it away, and a chance taken by Singletary with the 3 fouls. Making 20 points.
4 for 4 from beyond the arc. He came in shooting about 20% from 3.
Now Iowa State tries to turn up the pressure again. They get the trap, but they also get the foul, and it's Blalock who will pick it up. 3rd team foul against Iowa State.
Well, Sean Singletary hasn't had a prolific offensive night, but watch him split the trap and then recognize that he sucked Homan over for the easy layup. See, one of the things about the aggressiveness of Iowa State, they fouled a lot tonight out of this press. Rick Pitino has always said fouling negates hustle. So you don't want to put your team in a bad way by fouling off of presses.
Smith back out to Singletary. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Too hard off the glass. And Jimmy Burr says it heads back the other direction. And now Terry Moore comes in and they talk it over.
Well, that was a tough shot by Singletary. You see with the clock going down. Virginia, we talked about the good passing.
8 seconds on that shot clock. And Devin Smith, and now his coaching staff says, hey, look up at the shot clock. 3, down to 2, on the floor, and a travel.
And that's probably the one mental mistake Devin Smith made tonight on that pass all the way to midcourt. He didn't realize.
He sure didn't.
That there wasn't a reset. You could see how nonchalant he was.
And Pete was up and screaming, get it moving. And that's when he put it in high gear. 53-49, Iowa State, under 14 minutes to play. It's been a really entertaining ball game. Started off, kind of hiccup here and there, but it's been good.
George. Well, as much as people talk about Stinson, Will Blalock can get into the game, into the lane on anyone. Watch this burst right by Bannister, and then the finish by George.
Singletary just picked up his 4th foul. Four fouls tonight, 3 points. Career high, 25 points on Friday against Auburn.
Well, this is where Virginia has those 8 guys who have started games for them. Bannister and Forbes had a lot of experience at the end of their freshman year last year.
Tell you something else. Virginia at the free throw line, besides Devin Smith, as the pass goes back out on the wing, and Devin off the mark on that one. Tipped around. Clark has it blocked.
You don't see a break run any better than that. It started with Stinson. He knows if he gets it to Blalock, Blalock's going to make a great decision. Wow!
Clark now with 6 points.
I guess this is Hilton Magic, Ron.
Well, you're seeing it close to its best. I mean, they can really make a lot of noise.
You will not see a break run any better than that all season long. Stinson and Blalock have so much trust in each other that they give it up knowing that they'll get it to the right place. Keep your eye now on Blalock. And he notices he's got the trailer. And we told you what Clark can do at the end of that break. Last time I saw this was on the N1 Mix Tour.
See, Clark does it at both ends. He gets the block, now the trailer, and jams it home.
But Ron, if you run and jump like Clark, you know if you just get out and take off, you're going to get rewarded.
Wow.
Now, we talked about Pete Gillen. He took another timeout. He's got one left. But again, all he wants to do is try to keep his team in the game on the road until the final 5 minutes. This half-court press has really bothered Virginia. 1-3-1.
Forbes in the lineup. Gets it to Smith on the wing. He scores, and he was fouled. So that is a new career high for him. 32 points and an opportunity to make it 33.
Well, the unsung guy in that play was Gary Forbes because he recognized that no one rotated back on the weak side. And then you see the great look, and then, of course, you got to finish. This is where Jimmy Burr is good. Now watch, he's going to bring both guys over and tell them, I'm not calling a foul on you, just clean it up. You know when you watch those movies like the Jimmy Cagney movies with the officer on the beat on the street corner? That's what he reminds me of. You don't mess with Officer Burr.
No. You don't want a Burr under your saddle. Clark and George were the two players that he talked it over with and said, I suggest you do it my way. Homan on the turnaround. Nice move. And Jarrett now in double figures. He's got 10.
Well, if you look in a dictionary under the words big farm boy, you'll see a picture of Jarrett Homan.
Bannister, the bouncer inside to Brown, and the turnaround, beautiful shot. Elton quiets the crowd here. I think, again, the quickness because of his physical conditioning is just really helped him become better. What do we got? We're going to have a double foul here. Well, Stinson saying, I didn't do anything.
Well, this is where you have these three officials with great experience. And you know, Ron, we talked about it from the top. It's been a very high-energy game. Both teams press, run, play hard, attack the goal. It's been very physical within the rules. Keep your eye now. You see the little jaw in there. You know what I love about this? Gary Forbes is from Brooklyn. Curtis Stinson is from the Bronx. They're both city guys. They both don't back down.
So the discussion goes on, and now here we go. He's going to go to the scorer's table and tell us whether it's a foul on each or just a foul on Stinson.
Well, if it's a double technical, both teams will be assessed a personal foul, but there will be no free throw shot. They'll pick it up from the point of interruption, which means that Iowa State will have the basketball.
Well, they still have not made an announcement. Double technical is what we're being told.
Both players will be assessed a personal foul. Iowa State will keep the ball.
Stinson is still running down court with his hands up like, I didn't do anything.
Well, now we've got a little bit of a box and one. You see Gary Forbes chasing Stinson around.
Passed it right here in front of us. Fran was the closest person to it, so it's turnover. So we're going to take a timeout, and as we go to break, here is the fast break that got this crowd totally into it. And Clark jams it home after blocking it on the other end.
Ready for an amazing deal from Pizza Hut? Get a meat lovers, veggie lovers, or any lovers pizza for $9.99. And you get it the Pizza Hut way with lots of toppings. And I mean lots of toppings. Whoa!
Pizza's here.
That is a lot of toppings. Practically every meat on the planet or every veggie in the garden. Who else but Pizza Hut piles it on like this for just $9.99? Gather around the good stuff.
Give a holiday card everyone in the family will love. Pick up the Pizza Hut card today.
On Saturday, December 11th, college football's tradition of excellence rewards this season's most outstanding player. Jason White, Matt Leinart, Adrian Peterson, and Reggie Bush lead the field in a wide-open race. Who will become part of history? The 2004 Heisman Trophy presentation, presented by Suzuki, Saturday night at 8 Eastern on ESPN.
It's my game, my picture.
It's my movies, my favorite TV shows.
Panasonic introduces the only DVD recorder with a hard drive that stores up to 700 hours of your favorite stuff. Call for your free DVD recorder guide now.
It's my home video.
It's my vacation. It's gotta be my game.
These are my TV shows.
Your life.
Wow.
Now available on DVD. Panasonic. Ideas for life.
Country and hip-hop, living happily together in one place. Put all your favorite music on the new Apple iPod from HP from just $299.99. And now you can personalize your iPod with the new HP printable tattoos, just $14.99 for 10. Call 1-800-979-MyHP today and get free shipping.
Iowa State up by 5, and a reminder, you don't want to miss the Jimmy V Classic tomorrow night on ESPN. 7 o'clock, Memphis takes on number 12 Pitt, and then at 9 o'clock, number 5 Oklahoma State against number 4 Syracuse. Jimmy V Classic powered by Pontiac. And one more reminder of exactly what happened a moment ago. They waited a long time to make the announcement. It was Forbes with a technical foul. It's his second foul. And it was the third foul against Stinson. He picked up a technical as well. 5 team fouls against Iowa State, 3 against Virginia. See the shooting. UVA not nearly as warm in the second half as they were.
Now you see Devin Smith being guarded man-to-man by Anthony Davis, so it's a box and one.
Bannister, Homan cut off the lane on him. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Bannister driving, tried to feed it back. It's on the floor. There's going to be a reach-in foul against Iowa State.
And that is a bad break for Iowa State because they played Smith man-to-man, and they doubled Brown when he caught it in low, and they really didn't have any options.
Stinson almost came up with the steal there. PJ couldn't get that one to go. Virginia players scoring tonight. Smith with 33, Brown with 11, 7 for Bannister, and 3 for Singletary. Under 11 minutes to play in the ball game.
You'll see now Stinson on the other end getting guarded man-to-man by Gary Forbes.
Way too hard on that shot. Faulkner had the ball go right by him.
Wow. Well, Virginia's smart enough, obviously, to go to the hot guy.
36 points for Devin Smith. Every time he scores, it's just adding on to his career best. And he also, again, how many times tonight has he taken this crowd out of the ball game?
And you know what, Ron? He's only come in averaging 16 a game. You've got to have a lot of confidence to shoot this many shots.
Davis driving, couldn't get that runner to go.
This is where Bannister really can show his value to this team throughout the year with Singletary on the bench with 4 fouls.
Here's Forbes. Spin move, and that's a travel.
Well, because they're guarding him man-to-man out of that zone, almost a box and one, he only gets this look because it comes out of transition. That time, slow reaction by Iowa State. Smith gets the open look.
That's a 13th Virginia turnover. By the way, on Devin Smith, 66% from the floor, 10 of 15, and he's 50% from beyond the arc, 4 of 8. And at the free throw line, how about this? 12 of 13.
You know, one thing, Ron, you mentioned the free throws. Virginia's gone 18 of 20 tonight on the road. And that has kept them in this game.
Oh, no question about that. Forbes just picked up the foul, his 3rd. So reviewing the team fouls, Iowa State 16 fouls in the second half and 4 against Virginia.
What's going to be interesting here with Forbes on Stinson is that Forbes is really not a primary offensive threat. Interesting to see if they get into that man-to-man matchup because of that altercation earlier.
Forbes at 6'6" presents a problem since Stinson only 6'3".
He'd like to take Stinson out of his game. I don't think it's going to happen.
Nice dish to George. Just a little too far in front. George not prepared for the pass by Homan. And that turnover is number 6 against Iowa State. George will come to the bench. And coming back in with 4 fouls, 42, Robert Faulkner, the sophomore out of Peoria.
Ron, you remember the 4 timeouts called already. Pete Gillen has stemmed the tide and he's kept his team in the game on the road. They have come wisely.
Well, he's got just over a minute. He gets another media timeout.
The only guys that hoard timeouts are the guys with great players.
Well, Neal thought that the ball went off the Virginia player. It was a box and one that time down, right?
Well, that's what they've done the last few possessions. They're trying to limit Smith's touches. You see John Neal right now is not going to give Devin Smith any breathing room. It's amazing how both teams are similar defensively. They both play zone. They both play junk defenses. They press a little bit, and they trap in the post.
Elton Brown has it knocked away. Blalock is the man who got it. Alley-oop to Blalock. Put that one to the highlight reel, and they get the steal, and they score.
I didn't realize Will Blalock could jump like that until practice yesterday, and it's obvious that Curtis Stinson knew that. He sized up the break. Just keep your eye on these 2 guys on the 2-on-1. You don't draw it up any better. He throws it up right by the rim, and the 6-foot point guard, that jumping ability belies his size. That's 2 guys that know how to play together.
So no basket, but Iowa State obviously with the basketball. And again, followed by Faulkner after the miss by Homan.
That's exactly what Wayne Morgan wanted out of Robert Faulkner tonight.
Elton Smith not there. Homan on the outlet pass. Blalock dishes it off to Homan.
See, Singletary didn't want to foul out of the game, so he let Blalock go by him.
He's going to call a timeout, and he's got 10 seconds left. He would have gotten one on the next dead ball.
Well, it's like we talked about, Ron, with this crowd. He wants to keep his team in the game and try to stem the momentum, but Sean Singletary, since he got in foul trouble, has been virtually useless. That time he didn't want to guard Blalock. Blalock blew right by him. Well, great look right here. He throws it up. Stinson to Blalock. They've done that in the past. And then watch the hesitation here. Just to wait till Reynolds commits to Stinson, and then he dishes it.
Blalock is listed at 6 feet. That's the reason it was not a hoop right after the fast break. The reach in and the foul. Non-shooting, but Iowa State got the basketball.
Well, then you see right here, Blalock, watch Singletary basically just standing still. Blalock goes right by him, finds Jarrett Homan inside. You know, Ron, a smart guard knows when he's got a guy in foul trouble, he knows that Singletary can't guard him with any intensity, and Blalock recognized it, went right by him.
Singletary playing with 4 fouls. Faulkner also playing with 4 fouls. Neal all over the place trying to stop Devin Smith. Big Elton Brown. Skip pass deep in the corner. That one is an air ball by Reynolds. Neal gets it right back out. And the outlet pass. Stinson at the other end. And he missed it. But he gets his home foul.
You knew as soon as Blalock caught the ball that he was going to give it up.
Stinson now with 22 points, and it's a 10-point margin, and here they come again. Neal for 3. Nope, that's going to be off the mark. Faulkner skies, and boy, they got 3-on-1 numbers right here. Dishes it back, and the foul on Smith. He'll go to the line, and I think that's going to be number 5 on Faulkner.
Well, Faulkner has given Wayne Morgan a huge lift tonight. The surprise starter.
Ovation.
And for good reason.
He has really been a terror. Take a timeout. 10 points. Cyclone lead.
I wanted popcorn chicken. I wanted crispy strips.
I wanted original recipe.
The KFC Variety Bucket, a 3-in-1 combo of KFC favorites, all for just $9.99.
Chicken Capital USA.
Net Zero High Speed is going across America, so internet users can take the Net Zero High Speed Challenge. It lets you surf the web up to 5 times faster for only $14.95 a month.
There's no reason why you would not want to do this.
Get it at netzero.com.
This holiday, discover the magic at Radio Shack. And during our big 2-day sale, Tuesday and Wednesday only, get huge savings on wireless phones. Like this Samsung A650 color screen flip phone from Verizon Wireless, free with new 2-year agreement. Or this Motorola V60s flip phone from Verizon Wireless, also free with new 2-year agreement. Great gifts they'll love at the 2-day sale. Tuesday and Wednesday, right in your neighborhood.
Only at Radio Shack.
Days like these Yeah, come on, let's get out of here.
When the best tasting light beer in the world and your friends connect.
Good morning.
It's easy to lose track of time. Sam Adams Light, the taste of good times.
Scott Reese, Digger Phelps back in the studio. Chicago State tangling with a new #1 team in the land, Illinois, and off the turnover, it's Luther Head ahead of the pack and throwing it down.
That's where they beat you, transition and getting the ball down the floor. And the Huskies playing 43-28 at halftime against Northeastern. I guess that's about 31 wins against them, going for 32.
Josh Boone working on another double-double. Ron and Fran, back to you.
Okay, guys, a little bit of trivia here, and I'm sure you would have gotten it, but the last player to score 40 points or better, Ralph Sampson. But it was in 1981. Right now, Devin Smith is at 36 points, and plenty of time, 7:03 up on the clock for him to surpass the 40-point mark, and only 7 players in Virginia history have scored 40 or more in a ball game.
Well, this has been a great performance. It's almost been a double whammy for Virginia, because now that Iowa State has tried to shut Devin Smith out and they're double teaming Elton Brown inside, no one else has really picked up the scoring load for Virginia.
Good look at Robert Faulkner. We talked about his efforts tonight. They started him. He's had knee problems. Winds up with 10 points on the night, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist.
Now, Ron, with Elton Brown off the free throw line here, I would look for Virginia to press a little bit on this possession. The danger is you're giving the open court to 2 great guards in Stinson and Blalock.
Well, he can pull to within 2 points of that 40-point margin, and he does. 14 of 15 at the free throw line tonight. Wow. Eight-point ball game. Right now, Iowa State not interested in putting the ball up real quickly. Homan, the double on him, and the turnaround, and he banked it off the glass and scored. Homan's got some big points inside.
Well, they went man-to-man on that possession. Homan was all alone inside, one-on-one.
Joseph. Homan does a good job of shutting off, taking away the angle. Reynolds with the bouncer. Joseph blocked. George got up and got it, and at the other end, it's George who'll go to the line for a couple.
Now, the one thing we've seen tonight, if you play for Iowa State, you make a play on the defensive end, all you better do is run the court, because you're going to get the ball back. Keep your eye on Robert George right here. He makes the block. He takes off to the other end. Stinson with great court awareness finds him at the other end in the foul.
Second foul against Smith. Tell you one thing, after watching the Cyclones for a long time, this ball club far, far more athletic than a club they have had here in a while.
Well, and a lot of young players, Carr, Davis. You know, people forget, Ron, and you know this quite well, they lost 2 really good players off of last year's team. Jake Sullivan, who could flat out shoot it with anybody, and then Jackson Broman, who provided the kind of energy that's put him in the NBA with the Phoenix Suns.
George 0 of 4 at the free throw line, and make it 1 of 5. Not his forte, but he's got a lot of focus and a good motor.
And that's what happens when a left-hander shoots with the right hand.
About to go under 6 minutes left in our ball game. Ball is tipped and almost stolen. And now Singletary, they got numbers 4 on 1. Foul on Homan, and count the hoop.
Well, that was a great finish, but it started out with a very nonchalant pass by Singletary. Very fortunate to get it back. And he comes up with it and obviously makes the great play at the end of the break. But this is going to be a great learning opportunity for Sean Singletary, because if he thinks Hilton Coliseum is tough, wait till he goes to the Dean Dome and to Cameron Indoor Stadium. So in that sense, a great opportunity for the freshman.
Boy, got the rebound and the follow at his 40 points. 40 points for Devin Smith.
You know, and he's done it every conceivable way you can on the offensive end.
Inside, outside, free throw line. Stinson. Boy, put it right into the arms of Jason Clark. And the clock says it's going to go to Virginia. Wayne Morgan says, hey, let's take a timeout. Let's talk this over. Let cooler heads prevail. Guys, we don't need any arguments right now, is what he's saying.
Well, he doesn't need Homan ejected, and that's a smart timeout there.
Well, it's time now to take a look back on this date in college basketball history. On this date in 1957, Oscar Robertson played his first game for Cincinnati. That season, he scored more than 50 points 3 different times, leading the Bearcats to their first NCAA tournament. The Big O would end his career as the top scorer in college history. Well, who would ever forget him? And I'll tell you what, to maybe saying the same thing about this guy at Virginia. 50 for the Big O, 40 for Devin Smith. New career high it was at 30, and he believes in, well, when you're going to break a record, let's just eviscerate it, and so he has. 70-63, Iowa State on top by 7. You can see just under the 6-minute mark on the clock.
Well, and even though Pete Gillen has no more timeouts left, he's kept his team in the game.
You know, it's hard to believe about the first 2.5 minutes of this ball game. We were at 2-1, and we were talking about a couple of singles and a double was the only thing that had happened in the ball game. And then all of a sudden the pace really started to pick up, and now into the 70s, which you suggested at one time we're going to wind up having a game in the 70s.
Well, you know, both teams started off with great intensity, played good defense, but they were getting good shots at the basket. They just weren't dropping, and obviously that's changed quite a bit since those opening minutes.
Blalock working against Reynolds. Way outside. Singletary.
A great look and great rhythm right there as Stinson bumps Singletary up the court.
6 points for him now. And that's what UVA has done. They've hit the three-pointers to take big chunks away from the Iowa State ball club and also some momentum. So it's back to 4 points. Neal in the corner. Plenty of time in the shot clock. And a foul against Reynolds.
You know, it's interesting, Ron. We saw Singletary hit that basket, and he's got 6 points. I talked to the freshman at Iowa State, Tasheed Carr, yesterday, who is also from Philadelphia, and he said he's played against Sean Singletary about 30 times in his career. And he said he talked to Blalock and Stinson about not backing down from Singletary and going right after him. And that's really what they've done tonight.
Well, that's as good a scouting report as you can get.
No doubt.
Joseph at the other end, and Homan fouls him. And then quickly coming in, Jason Clark.
Well, it's definitely intentional foul, but now as a coach, and if you're Wayne Morgan, you probably want to get out of here and get your guys separated. The only people that can leave the bench right now are the two head coaches. And so Pete Gillen is making sure he gets his guys back, and Wayne Morgan sees now that he's got his 5 guys under control. And you know, prior to that foul, it really hasn't been a dirty game. It's been well officiated. That one was just an overly aggressive foul. Now the rule states that if you foul overly aggressively, and you see now Homan coming down on Joseph, that's to be called an intentional foul.
And if you see, he stretched across his body. Yep. And he wound up hitting him in the head, and that's the reason the Virginia players took exception to it.
And you don't really want to do this with a guy that's airborne. I know Jared Homan plays the game hard. Okay, Clark comes in to defend Joseph. Again, Officer Burr is on the beat, cleaning things up. But remember, Ron, Virginia only trails by 4 now. So they have stayed in this game in a hostile environment.
So the intentional foul called on Homan. And a technical foul has been called on Clark for coming in after the play. So Blalock will shoot first. Only 8 of 18 from the free throw line tonight for Iowa State. Misses them both.
And that happens a lot. I've seen it happen where a good shooter goes to the line with nobody standing there. But now Joseph has got to shoot the 2 free throws, and he's 0 for 3 in his career. Virginia will get the ball back underneath the basket. But these would be 2 big free throws for Joseph after Blalock misses his pair.
He swishes that one.
How about that? His first free throw of his career here.
21 of 24 from the line tonight for Virginia. And now they've advanced one more, so it's 8 of 20 for Iowa State. 40%. Wow.
So now Virginia gets it back underneath, and they come out +2 on the exchange.
2-point difference. They'll get the basketball 70-68 with just over 5 minutes to play. Joseph left alone for 3. Neal with the rebound.
Okay, Virginia's back in the matchup zone, but they're chasing Neal, who's a good shooter.
Nice give and go. Homan, and he was fouled. Looks like it's going to be Devin Smith who will pick it up. Ron Franklin, Fran Fraschilla coming to you from a very excited Hilton Coliseum in Ames, Iowa. I want to tell you, free throw shooting tonight by Iowa State, only 40%. That's been their Achilles, and it's the thing that has kept Virginia in the ball game to go along with the efforts by one Devin Smith. As you look at mom and dad, he misses the first one.
Guarantee you, his dad's not thinking about milking cows right now.
14 points more off the free throw line by Virginia tonight. And he misses the second one. 4 straight misses by Iowa State. Put an asterisk by both of those sequences.
Now Iowa State has gone to the zone where they've gone boxing 1 on Smith. Let's see if he gets open. See, the one guy who will look to score besides Smith will be Singletary.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Reynolds left alone, moving to his right, rattles it home. His first 2 of the night. We are tied at 70. Brand new ball game, brand new script. Dish inside, maybe one pass too many, and it looks as though it touched Virginia last. It'll be Iowa State basketball with 24 on the shot clock.
See, Ron, I want to get back to those timeouts. If you told Pete Gillen at shoot-around today that you would have no timeouts left in a 70-all game, would you take it? He'd say yes.
So there's a timeout. Tied at 70, and here's the shot that tied it up. J.R. Reynolds, his first 2 points of the night, just inside the line, swishes it. We'll be back. This one far, far from being over.
Maybe.
Morning, Jack.
Morning, Barbara.
Good holiday spirit. Oh, morning, Jack.
Good holiday spirit.
Good holiday spirit.
Good holiday spirit.
Huh? Huh? Huh?
Too much holiday spirit, Phil.
Get a free reindeer ball with any large combo at Jack in the Box. It's just the right amount of holiday spirit.
In the 70s, he was the coolest guy alive. Now, hey, he's back.
You guys yanking my chain?
I didn't even know you had a chain.
In the biggest comedy event
Thank you.
of the holiday season.
What's that on your head? It's my hat. Why don't you take it off? I have no face.
Fat Albert.
I'm looking for Mr. Cosby.
Rated PG this Christmas, only in theaters.
Capital One Mascot True Love Challenge.
And some scenes from next week. Who will she kiss? Don't miss the nation's top college football players and some of the best college football games. 6 straight days of action. The Capital One Bowl Week. Catch every game from December 27th through January 1st on ESPN and ESPN2.
So we are back at Hilton Coliseum. We have 3 minutes and 59 seconds left to play. Virginia has led, or has trailed, I should say, by as many as 10 points. But look at these numbers right here. We talked about Wayne Morgan's ball club, 20-1 at home, and on the road, 3-13. But I'll tell you, so far, the Cavaliers have just, they're unflappable when they get down big. They were down by 10 just a moment ago, and Pete Gillen's club just keeps coming back. 40 points in the ball game tonight for Devin Smith. Stinson 22 points, 18 for Faulkner. Homan with 14. That's the first one they've made in the last 5 attempts.
It's interesting too. They come into this game shooting 78% from the line.
Wow.
So
and tonight they are at 9 of 24.
Again, you see the boxing one. John Neal is shadowing Devin Smith. Reynolds hit that last jumper. Sean Singletary will take big shots.
Smith driving, hustle by Homan, comes away with it.
Well, Smith had an opportunity to draw the defenders and kick it to Singletary wide open. He didn't do it. One of those rare mistakes tonight.
Stinson put the ball up very quickly, got it straight up over the hoop. One bounce and it comes down through.
You saw a good example of why they call that a teardrop shot.
Nice look and a bounce pass to Brown. Had it blocked by Homan and gets his own foul. Elton Brown. 13 points for him. Jumper not there. Forbes guys for the rebound. And by the way, for Big Elton, that's a double-double. He has 10 rebounds to go along with those 14 points. Way outside. The freshman couldn't get that one to go. On the floor, they battle for it, and Neal tries to tie it up, and it'll go back to the Cyclones.
That's the one time that you wish if you're Devin Smith that you have a timeout. At least he recognized that he didn't.
I started to say.
Kept possession of, they may lose possession, but they don't get the tee.
That's yeah, one of the more famous moments in Final Four history.
Yep. But Ron, that's a good trade-off for staying in the game and calling those timeouts to keep the crowd out of the game as much as possible.
Well, Iowa State, as far as the second half is concerned, it has been some kind of high-wire act.
Well, we highlighted these two excellent guards, the sophomores, Blalock and Stinson, and they have not disappointed us.
Devin Smith just keeps on keeping on. 40 points in this ball game tonight, 14 of 15 from the free throw line. Let me say something about the big fella, Elton Brown. 5th double-double of the year, the 9th of his career. There he is right there. Rarely does he put that entire mouthpiece into his mouth. He rooms with his cousin, who also was named Elton Brown. Many of the pro scouts think that Elton Brown will be the first guard taken. He plays on the Cavalier football team.
When you say guard, offensive lineman, not
offensive lineman, yeah. No, not at 6'6", 330. I asked him how he lost all that weight rooming with someone who was that huge, and he said, oh, he really is careful. He only eats twice a day, but a lot. Stinson misses the runner. So a one-point ball game at 2:24. You know, if Iowa State even hits 50% tonight, they are way in front of this ball game.
And this is one of those areas, as a coach, you wonder, how do you coach free throw shooting? They come in shooting almost 78%. These things just happen over the course of the season.
Strange thing about it is it happens on the road most of the times, not in your own backyard.
That's right.
Stinson, what a ball game he's had tonight. "27 points for Stinson."
Well, this is a guy back on the playgrounds in New York they call blue collar, and he's shown you why.
Crowd is up and trying to help out this Cyclone ball club, trying to keep Virginia from making one more comeback. They've done it all night long.
And they're trying to go inside, but when Brown catches it, he gets double teamed.
Forbes, yeah. First 2 points for him. You see that ball just kind of circled all the way around the rim and then went down. 1 point game again. Neal for three.
What great acceleration.
Singletary just blew right by him.
Hey, Sean Singletary has shown me something in the last few minutes. He got in foul trouble. He looked like he was losing his poise a little bit, but he's bounced back nicely down the stretch.
Yeah, he got it.
One of the things about this zone is it's allowed too much penetration all night.
Ball is tipped, almost stolen, and Forbes was fouled. I think Stinson, yeah. Stinson is the man who reached in.
Well, that's his fourth foul. John Neal, a young guy who's a former walk-on, who's been a great shooter in his career, has made big shots, can't knock it down. And watch Singletary. He realizes he's got a slow guy on him. Blows by him like Neal isn't even there.
And Wayne Morgan wants a 30-second timeout. 1:13 showing on the clock. Well, you won't want to miss the Jimmy V Classic tomorrow night on ESPN, 7 o'clock Eastern. Memphis takes on number 12 Pitt. And how about the nightcap at 9? Number 5 Oklahoma State against number 4 Syracuse and Jimmy Boeheim's group. The Jimmy V Classic, powered by Pontiac.
Tell you what, you have a couple of potential Player of the Year candidates tomorrow night. Hakeem Ward, John Lucas, Joey Graham, Rodney Carney.
And then we're looking forward to heading on over to Lawrence on Thursday night. Get a look at the Jayhawks against TCU.
Yep. Another Player of the Year candidate, Wayne Simeon. You know what? I think we found two more tonight. Devin Smith and Curtis Stinson. Now, it's going to be interesting on the defensive end for Virginia, Ron, because they have played this matchup zone, but it has not kept Iowa State from penetration.
1 point game. Forbes trying to tie it up, and he does. So, folks, that is 6 ties and 11 lead changes in this ball game.
Gary Forbes, a 75% foul shooter now on the year. Nope.
Missed it. Davis comes down with a rebound.
Well, the key now is to keep Blalock and Stinson out of the lane.
Stinson right at the feet of Neal, and they turn it over.
Good possession by J.R. Reynolds, bottling up Stinson. It's exactly what we talked about. Iowa State will get the ball back regardless.
About 20 seconds difference between game clock and shot clock.
And Neal will not leave Smith.
Forbes. The lob. Back to Smith. Here's Forbes. Drives to the hoop and rattles it off the glass.
And Ron, Devin Smith got double teamed. He kicked it right back out to Forbes. That opened up the driving lane for the sophomore from Brooklyn, who started most of last year.
Stinson for three. Iowa State goes on top by 1. 30 points for him. It'll stay with Virginia. 12 and a half seconds left. 80-79 Iowa State.
How about Stinson expanding his range tonight? His 5th three. No timeouts left.
Damon Staple comes into the lineup.
Ron, they worked on this situation at shoot-around today. Inbounding against the zone.
Steps through. The bouncer. It is stolen.
Got a foul out top. Foul out top.
With 9.1 seconds on the clock. Now, the way Iowa State has shot free throws tonight, this is still no great bargain.
Well, Virginia concerned about the dribble penetration. Well, you see Gary Forbes off the glass, slashing to the lane.
But you talk about an important shot. Stinson with no conscience whatsoever. Never intimidated. Knocks it home. This one right here barely drew iron.
Now this is going to be interesting because Wayne Morgan can elect to set up a soft press. They use the 1-2-2 at three-quarter court.
11 of 27 at the free throw line. Will Blalock with an opportunity to make it a 2-point lead Iowa State.
If they don't press, look for Virginia just to attack the rim.
2-point game.
There's the trap. There's the freshman.
Singletary couldn't get it. The tip won't go. Second tip won't go. Iowa State will win it by a couple.
Virginia, Ron, gave themselves every chance to win this game.
Stinson being mobbed by his teammates, and why not? 30 points in the ball game. 10 of 19 tonight from the field. But let's show you one more time his three-pointer, which put Iowa State up for good.
And Ron, the Virginia guard Reynolds goes under the ball screen because of the penetration. Stinson feeling it all night, knocks it down.
Now look at Singletary. He has got a great situation, Fran. Spin move. No one had a hand on him. He missed it. The tip by Brown, couldn't get it to go. And you see the light come on, and it's Iowa State. What a huge, huge victory over a Virginia team that simply would not go away. So the final score, Iowa State 81 and Virginia 79. Coming up next, billiards, the 2004 Women's Tournament of Champions. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. And now for Fran Fraschilla, Rob Franklin saying so long, everybody. Tonight, Hilton Magic did work one more time. Cyclones win it by a couple.